So that's where it was.
How did you get in here?
Still keep it in the flower pot.
Well, at least you haven't forgotten that.
There are a lot of things I haven't forgotten, darling. What are you going to do with that?
Don't you know?
Peddle it to David Lang as a sample of your wares? Don't worry, dear, I'm alone. Poor old Murchison. If he only knew. He really did work a miracle, didn't he?
He had some help.
Sure he did. Someone who mixed up the ingredients, falsified the formula, stole it, and is now going to sell it to the highest bidder.
Make me an offer. I never knew you had a sense of humor.
Remember, if we call you the inventor, you'll get royalties on the gross. Say, 10% on each unit.
It's not enough, Vivica. Not nearly enough for a miracle.
What do you want? You want me?
Mm-hmm. You have no idea how long I've waited for this moment. Waited and planned, and now... No, thank you, darling. You're not gonna make a sucker out of me like you did Murchison. Now, there was a time when I would have given you anything. Now, quite frankly, I wouldn't give you... You know, I haven't seen one of these things since high school.
And there's a blood stain. The doc seems to think this will match up as a murder weapon. However, I haven't found any prints.
It was hit from behind, Lieutenant, by a heavy object.
You know, you better be careful. Feels like there's some broken glass on the floor.
Apparently, they broke a drinking glass.
Anyway, Lieutenant, it's all in here. He died from a fractured skull.
Excuse me one moment, would you, Sergeant?
Hey, Lieutenant, what are you looking for?
Salt for my egg. Usually carry a shake in my pocket.
Yeah, here's salt. That's just flour.
Maybe once, not now. Something else was in there.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think it was?
I have no idea, Lieutenant.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8-sided bottom, octagonal. What was that project Mr. Lessing was working on anyway?
Who knows? They never tell anybody anything. Just her nibs and a few top executives.
Gee whiz, you'd think that you were building secret weapons around here.
Why, we're not. Do you have any idea how much the women of America spend to make themselves beautiful? Anyway, whatever it was, it didn't work. Because everybody in this section got canned.
Oh, really? Excuse me, just 1 minute.
What's the matter?
You gonna throw this out?
Yeah, of course. Everything goes.
Well, what do I use this for anyway? I mean, it's got no label, it's got no writing, nothing.
Every test product has a special container, Lieutenant. Like the one you're holding. Here, let me show you. Hold this. dozen of these. It's a way of coding, that's all. Coding, you know what I mean? Different colors, different shapes. Now one is missing.
You mind if I keep this?
For what? They've all been sterilized. There's nothing in them.
Oh, well, it's sort of nice. You keep things in it. Cufflinks, tie clasp, kind of like the bottom. Each sides. What do they call that, octagonal?
You really are a very stubborn man, aren't you, Lieutenant? Do you actually believe that I could have had anything to do with that poor Mr. Lessing's death? Is that why you're chasing me?
Miss Scott, are you aware that Carl Lessing had a photograph of yours which he put in his dartboard and which he used as a target?
What?
Now, don't get excited. Doesn't mean anything. A lot of people want to throw darts at their bosses. You know, as a matter of fact, a while back here, there was a captain of detectives, and he and I didn't get along. I used to have fantasies about him. I always had my hands around his throat.
You belong in a museum.
Sorry, ma'am, I didn't mean to upset you. I better run along. You've been very cooperative. Thank you very, very much. Oh, say, you wouldn't know what poison ivy looks like, would you? I mean, when you get it, like right here, on this finger here.
I'm afraid I don't.
Broke out a couple hours ago. He's just like the devil. You know, I got a nephew out at UCLA. He's a resident dermatologist out there. He said it sounded like poison ivy.
A dermatologist. Well, it must be poison ivy.
Yeah. Tell you, the only problem is the guy down at headquarters, Sergeant Kaiser, a German guy, his hobby is horticulture. You know, plants. So he told me there is no poison ivy in Southern California, not enough moisture.
Well, then maybe it isn't poison ivy.
Then I went out to UCLA. I showed it to my nephew. He looked at it. He said it is poison ivy.
Lieutenant, I did not kill Carl Lessing. I couldn't kill a fly.
Sorry to disturb you, ma'am, but I have a court order here to search these premises. All right, you fellas check back in there. You stand here. Excuse me, ma'am.
This is outrageous. Who's responsible for this? What are you looking for? Let me put it this way. If you found a little red jar with an 8-sided bottom, would you get promoted?
Just take it easy, lady. Just take it easy.
Taking it easy. As a matter of fact, I could offer you a drink and help you search if I weren't so furious.
No luck yet, Lieutenant. No luck at all.
Lieutenant, would you please do what you have to do and get out of here? How long is this going to take?
Damnedest case I've ever seen.
Will you answer me? How long is this going to take?
Found the poison ivy.
That's good. Where?
In Lessing's place.
I know at Lessing's, but where?
It was in the bottom drawer of a file cabinet. The drawer was locked.
You were nowhere near that drawer.
I know. I never opened the drawer. Still trying to figure out where I got my poison ivy.
Poor thing. Still worried about your itch.
You worried about yours?
No.
Couldn't help noticing, ma'am, the past few days you've been scratching your hand and wearing gloves.
So?
Been out of state recently?
No.
Neither have I.
Lieutenant, you amaze me. Number one, you don't even know if I have poison ivy.
Doctor will tell us that.
Number two, even if I do have it, it has nothing to do with Carl Lessing because I never touched that vial.
You're under arrest for murder. Where there's a microscope, there's always a slide. You see, we got our poison ivy in the same place. We both touched the slide. You touched it when you picked up the microscope and hit him. That's when the slide broke. I got it when I put my hand on the floor and it touched a piece of glass. I remember because I said, fellas, feels like there's broken glass here. Just one more thing.